water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. We're going to read your tarot cards here today. Another week of a collective reading for the water signs. I'm just pressed for time, guys, but I did want to give you a reading rather than none at all. So let's tap into the water signs energy for a collective tarot message. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Anyone is welcome in this reading. I just ask you come in with an open heart, an open mind, a desire to learn something to better yourself. And if the messages that come through don't resonate, feel free to push them aside, possibly revisit them at a later date. Sometimes tarot messages will make more sense in the future, okay? Other than that, you guys are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. Let's try and have some fun. All right, here we go. Messages from my water signs. We'll split the deck here. What's coming out for water signs? Let's see, the Hierophant. Okay, who or what are you committing yourself to this week? Ooh, there's a hidden card. I almost feel like this is something that you know you need to commit to, but it's been pushed aside, or it's been, what's the word? Like put on the back burner. Oh, you're 10 of Cups. I love it. Some of you, you're being asked to recommit to your love life. For some of you, this is very strong marriage potential. For those who are seeking specifically, where is the relationship headed? For some of you, it could be a very long-term happy commitment. Others of you, this can just indicate a family card. It's sort of, it's one past the wish fulfillment, right? So, this is possibly maintaining or, something like loyalty or commitment to who and what you love, right? Your 10 of Cups doesn't have to be a person, right? But it could also be yourself. Where do you find great emotional fulfillment in your life? You need to keep going down that avenue, going back, because I'm almost getting the idea of like this ever-flowing source, like sort of this well you can keep going back to, because it revitalizes you, almost like rejuvenates in a sense is what I'm getting. So let's see. Yes, some of you, there could be a very strong, it could be a business commitment or a business partnership rather. Others of you, again, it could be romantic, especially strong Taurus vibes here, maybe some Pisces, end of Pisces season, which actually by the time I post this will be out of, so we're heading into Aries season. Let's see. So for some of you too, just because if you have a lot of planets in water, fire, depending on where you fall, it can be a little bit challenging, right? But that doesn't have to be a bad challenge. It could indicate that something's going to get you inspired and motivated in new ways, but you're going to have to take action to go and get it. So what else? Oop, those kind of jumped. Ooh, Wheel of Fortune, water signs, and the 9 of Swords. Under that is the 7 of Swords. All right, interesting. So you have some Moon and I think Jupiter energy. You definitely have Jupiter energy with the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, where are you afraid to take risks in your life? Where have you been talking yourself out of it? Or it's like you start to formulate a game plan, but some of you easily talk yourself out of it, or you come up with reasons, and I'm even going to say, tough love, even like excuses why you shouldn't, but it's almost like self-sabotage. It's like you're your own worst enemy. In a sense, right? I don't mean to come down too hard on you, but I don't know, the 3 of Swords is like the source of pain. You're the one holding on to it. So in a sense, you have the power to release it, but you have to get back past your own thought process, your own system of beliefs and your own choices and ideas of what's real and what isn't, what's true, what's untrue. Your thought process is what's getting in the way of this. For a lot of you, you're being told to think in a larger scope, sort of a zoom out, like, yes, maybe there's going to be periods of difficulty or, a couple days, a couple hurdles, whatever, obstacles. Yes, absolutely. But that's life. Where in life are there not certain obstacles or delays or frustrations? But I think it's saying in the larger picture, is this going to be good for you? For a lot of you, I would say yes, because I don't know if this calls to your heart, this person, place, thing, idea, whatever it is. If you're serious about it, and I will say that with the Hierophant, if you're serious about this commitment, well, it's going to bring you a lot of joy and abundance. But again, there's something internally that you're going to have to sort of, I'm hearing the word like patchwork or mending fences or bridging the gap. It's something internally where you have to allow yourself to believe that you deserve this. Ooh, that's a good one, guys. You have to allow yourself to believe that you deserve it, or that it's worth going after, or that you do deserve happiness. So for some of you, it's sort of just a I'm almost getting like hangman type vibes, like a flip flop in your perspective, changing your perspective to see something new. And I want to say a moving away from a more narrow perspective with all this kind of sword energy, kind of some Gemini vibes here. Here it's like think bigger, go deeper, you know, however you want to look at it. And for some of you, with sort of the idea of fixed energy, something that at one point in time you thought was set in stone, that's not the case, but it's actually beneficial to you. And again, for some of you, it just has to changing your mind. Some of you are breaking away from the power of influence your upbringing or family had on your system of beliefs, your thoughts, ideas. It's like this idea that was sort of ingrained in you from an early age, or something to do with family, friends, environments, whoever you were around for a significant period of time, had a major impact on what you choose to believe as an adult or wherever you were at in life. And it's not to say that's right or wrong, but I think this is asking what's right for you. What thoughts are you going to choose to carry on and commit yourself to, or what, lifestyle, if you will. That's a pretty card. 6 of Cups. Interesting. Yeah, so going back to the past and maybe rewriting the script. I get that from this a lot. Some of you are quite literally going to be writing something, and maybe it's in a journal or some poetry or some song lyrics, or you might be writing up some sort of legal document at work. I don't know what it is, but I am seeing someone writing. So shout out to those people who needed that confirmation. Tell me a little bit more about this Hierophant, the 10 of Cups. For some of you, if you are single and looking or looking at prospects for dating, when you decide to release the one that had, again, sort of a sabotagey vibe, by choosing to hold on to it, you were closing off yourself from other potential and other possibilities. Many of you, again, if that scenario fits, you have a long-term partnership like right on the horizon. Like the 10 of Cups is here. It's in sight. I see it. Others of you have already matched with a person or have very strong family support as you try to devote more time to your mental health. So it could be that you're being encouraged and supported as you go speak with a counselor or a therapist or do some sort of change for the better, right? The Wheel of Fortune always ushers in beautiful blessings and changes. And expansion, right? It forces us out of a place that maybe we felt was sort of dark and we were sort of stuck in. That's changing. That's the good news. And with that, maybe this comes as a result, or maybe this comes first and encourages you, if you're excited and enjoying one avenue or one part of your life, this is so good. You may actually get encouragement and support to go tackle that thing that, at the time it seemed like a monster, but now you're ready to go down and face it because you have this sort of lighthearted, optimistic perspective, because you've seen the benefit of hard work. You've seen how good life can get. And especially, in certain areas of life, right? You might be thriving in one area and, challenged in another. These have a positive effect. And it's sort of like, not like a ricochet, but like one bounces you off to the next. So anyway, relationships, 8 of Swords. Yeah, get out of your head. You have the power to liberate yourself from anything you don't need or want anymore. You just have to make the choice, and it might be a difficult choice, to branch away from that. Branch away from what is familiar. What's always going to counteract this Mercury energy, right? Your head, your mind, your thoughts, is that Jupiter energy, that expansion of larger concepts, ideas, right? So it's going to force you out of your comfort zone. You're going to go into unfamiliar territory. That's a good thing, right? What else? Yeah, independence. Don't be afraid to be independent. Don't be afraid to go to the party single. Don't be afraid to go off and do things on your own. Don't be afraid to branch off and introduce yourself to new people. Stand strong on your own 2 feet. That's a tremendous source of pride and growth for a lot of you. 5 of Swords. What is that? You're getting all my tricky sword cards, water signs. High Priestess. A lot of you are finally, I don't know if it's reflecting on the past, but you're saying goodbye to old storylines in your life, old narratives, you can call it baggage. I have mixed feelings about that term. But mentally, a lot of things, the memory, you were holding on to things, especially I'm sort of getting the idea of impressions in many different senses, actually. Old memories you were holding on to that maybe didn't have the most optimistic or positive vibe, the grudges, the resentment, the I should have done this or he should have said that or blah, blah, blah. Some of you are just moving past it because you realize it's an energy suck. It's taking away from like your power, right? High Priestess, and trying to keep your vibe healthy and clear and cleansed and open to, channeling messages from the universe. When you're kind of stuck in your head with all this, I will say more negative or depressing or, sorrowful thoughts, it stands in the way of you getting to whatever this happiness is, right? Even if it's a short-term happiness, it doesn't have to be commitment in marriage or whatever. But I will say that is kind of on the table here. Some of you, it's making amends with the past and just choosing to move on and just kind of chalking it up to the idea of, well, you know what? It made me who I am today. It made me stronger. And so in a sense, I'm grateful for it. I'm sort of getting from this, a lot of you, it's like, I would never choose to relive it, but you know what? I essentially was forced to go through this and now I'm free from it, right? 8 to the 9. Different elements, but being stuck in my head versus appreciating my life and having gratitude for the abundance and who and what is in my life, having respect for myself. All your experience in life, both negative and positive, have made you who you are today, and for that you are grateful. But I definitely see here something humbled you. Very likely a relationship that someone turned their back on you, or, Five of Swords, not my favorite card. It can be kind of backstabbing. It can be a little bit malicious, or people acting out of, their own selfishness. I will say though, water signs, as much as I love you, it takes 2 to tango, right? So it's possible that some of you were involved in some sort of, let's say it was a romantic relationship and you kind of got to see the ugly side of them. It really may actually be trying to sort of tap into showing you via another person areas in life you need to work on internally for yourself, right? And, I'm not throwing you under the bus or trying to, shame you or whatever, but I would really encourage a lot of you, every person you meet, think about, not only what they bring to your life, but what do they actually reveal to you about yourself, the way you react emotionally, mentally, physically when they say or do those things, right? It's a really important way to be sort of not referential, what is the term? Self-aware, right? The High Priestess has a lot of inner knowing, right? She doesn't have to speak. She doesn't have to justify herself. She doesn't have to say a lot. There's just a quiet, peaceful, internal knowing. And this is a very strong card of like spirituality too, trusting your intuition, that moon energy. Some of you are going to focus more on like moon magic or, sort of doing manifestations on new moons or full moons or however you do it. Paying attention to that, something about the cycle of the moon may actually bring with it some sort of abundance that maybe it's like intuitively you sense it's coming, but you don't see physical evidence of it. I would say, stick to it. Taurus energy, right? That fixed earth, stick to it. Don't give up. Don't quit when the going gets tough. Others of you went through some sort of painful breakup or some sort of painful divorce. And again, I think before the next chapter arrives here, and it will, Wheel of Fortune, there's this newfound realization that, I can do it on my own and I don't need a partner to feel validated, or that's sort of like I'm strong on my own. There's nothing wrong with wanting a partner, right? But it's almost like this was shown to you just so you could understand just how worthy and valuable of a person you are, and recognizing that just simply for yourself. It's not about needing to hear it, repeated back to you from others. A lot of you were in a very long-term commitment and even possibly suddenly, I'm almost getting tower vibes, it changed. And so it sort of forced you to look at something that maybe you had never examined before. And a lot of you, it's like dark night of the soul. You had to go to some pretty dark places in your psyche, right? But you do come out the other end, right? And again, for a lot of you, you don't have to do this alone. You have a network of support, family, friends, who are there to support and love you and, give advice or guidance if and where you need it. For some of you, there's a huge spiritual awakening. Hierophant and High Priestess, those to me are sort of, divine counterparts. And it doesn't have to be romantic, but that's what I'm saying. There's very strong, lasting, important connections here. So don't think you're all by yourself. A lot of you just needed to know that you could do it by yourself, but it doesn't mean you have to be single, right? You're going to connect with the people you're supposed to. Taurus and Cancer are coming up here very strong. I see a little bit of Virgo, Gemini, maybe Sagittarius, maybe Pisces. What about this High Priestess? Very watery energy here, so I have a feeling this represents a lot of my water signs, both male and female. The Four of Cups. Being more selective and choosy about who you let into your life. Ooh, yeah. All right. So a big offer comes for teamwork, for partnership, for collaboration. That might be more in a business sense. And then the Nine of Cups, your wish fulfillment. Wow. So some of you have an earth sign possibly coming in to make an offer to you. Again, a job offer that is very much in alignment with possibly your dream career or something that would just mean a lot to you. It would be very satisfying emotionally, but also financially for some of you. Some of you, you're willing to make a sacrifice that you weren't willing to make before. Because something has opened your mind. Something has changed your mind to see things from a different perspective. And again, for a lot of you, it's the preaching of family. Or and it doesn't have to be family, but something that you were told and it was like a very firm belief of yours for a long time. It's not to say it's not true for some people out there, but you came to like this shocking realization that it wasn't working for you. Living your life that way, it left you feeling like this, and it was almost like you were trying to do good by them. It's like you wanted this person's blessing, so you were willing to sacrifice your happiness. No more. That's changed. And I would encourage a lot of you with that sort of like, oh, this newfound empowerment, like I don't need this and this is who I actually am and I'm going to do it. Some of you may be tempted to hold on to this, but how dare they, tell me that, these lies all along, and I believed it. Again, wasted energy, right? I would not spend too much time reflecting on the past because a lot of you are there's this dawning of a new day. There's this realization of something you want to do or can do that. I will say, if it's not alone, it's very unique and like individualized. It separates you from the rest of the pack. And it's something strong. It's something intuitively you've been wanting to go towards or driven to go towards. But I don't know, for a matter of time, you weren't able to for some reason. Again, with like a change of heart and a change of mind, you choose to sacrifice something or reject something you always thought you needed or always thought you wanted, but that's not the case anymore. You're listening to your heart now. And I don't know, whatever it is, it's good with the Queen of Coins. You're going to find your tribe too. So even if you do have to start this, maybe it's quite literally a startup, like an entrepreneur type thing. Even if it does feel like you're going at it alone, as long as you're enjoying it and you see potential in it, don't sweat the details because you will find your people. You will find your tribe. Queen of Coins with the Three of Coins. There's lots of people who want to work with the Queen of Coins here. And then wish fulfillment. So even more beautiful blessings come from this. It might be slow to start, right? Earth energy. But I almost love that it's like bookended with water here because it's like checking in with yourself emotionally. If you're emotionally invested in this, I see good things coming from it. All right, I'm going to leave you water signs with that. Thanks for tuning in this week, guys. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye.